How may I help you?
My name's Jasmine, and I'm with NetSuite. What's your
Okay.
name? Sorry, Wendell?
Yeah, Wendell Godwin. My apology.
Wendell.
I didn't have
Nice
this
to
on my
meet you.
calendar or anything. How did you get back here?
Well, actually, it's a funny story. I was just over right across the street, and one of the things we just did is we saved them $50,000. So I was excited, came out the front door,
Okay.
and the first thing I saw was your company just moved in here. So I thought we could take 20 minutes
They
maybe.
probably pointed you down the
Yeah.
hall. Okay. Well, I was on my way to another meeting right now. What is it that your company does? Just
Well, it's a company called NetSuite, and what we do is it's a business integration tool that helps companies create and maintain relationships. Now that was a bit of a convoluted sentence.
kind of like a
so.
CRM type.
Oh
kind
yes,
of-
so you're
okay.
familiar with CRMs?
Yeah, actually, I am looking for something like that.
Okay.
So go ahead and have a seat,
Okay,
and we'll
great.
just make yourself comfortable. We'll visit for a few minutes. Try to keep this short, so I'm gonna be late for my other appointment.
20 minutes of your time, is that
Okay,
all right?
all
That sound
right,
good to
that'll
you?
work.
Right, so here's my card.
Okay.
Do you have a card that I could?
I do,
Wait.
and your name is Jasmine?
Jasmine, yes.
Okay.
Now is Wendell fine or Mr. Godwin?
Just call me Wendell, that's fine.
Wendell, okay, that's fine. Great, do you mind if I put a few things on
No,
your desk?
that's fine.
20 minutes. Great.
So how did you find us back here? In the industrial park, we're kind of towards the back.
Well, I mean, you had a great signage in the front, so I thought that was really, really nicely done. Was that your idea?
Yes.
Oh, well, it was very nice.
Thank you,
So,
thank you.
Strategic Marketing Institute Sports. That's the
Right,
full name, correct? Okay, it's great. What I'd like to do basically is learn a little bit more about your company. I gave you, a 30-second overview of what NetSuite does, but I'd like to go more in depth with, what Strategic Marketing Institute Sports
Okay.
is.
Sure. Well, let me I'll regress a little bit in how we started the company. My grandmother actually won the lottery,
Okay.
and in doing so, she gifted me $2 million to basically pursue a dream that I've had. I've been working in corporate America for 25 years, and she granted me this to pretty much pursue my own business, something that I'm very passionate about sports. I have 3 children who were active in sports, and I was very active in sports growing up. So we've launched this business just about 6 months ago. That's why it's still kind of in a build-out phase here. So we're very new, and there's just a few of us on the staff and the team right now, but we're starting to grow, and obviously any entrepreneur has great vision, right? So that's kind of where we're at right now. And the service and what we really provide is we're working in the high school sports arena to help high school students who have an interest in maybe pursuing a college scholarship or a college athletic career to get exposure. And we do that by working through the parents and the local coaches at the AAU level, the high school level, or some recreational level, but mostly it's the higher end sports academies and select teams that we're working with to help these college kids or future college kids get marketing and really promoted to the universities in order to help them secure a college scholarship in that particular sport. There's a lot of really good athletes out there that don't get that exposure if they never get offered a partial or even some types of financial aid to attend university.
So you function as an intermediary between, the great athletes that you have
Right.
and the great scholarships that are available right now.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
and
great.
getting
I
the
mean, that's really
information to
reputable.
the coaches out there to get these kids exposure. So my fees, may be substantial to the parent, but the end goal is to get a scholarship or some type of financial aid assistance they would not have otherwise been granted. That could be $20, $30, $50, $100,000.
So you talked about your fees. What is your exact title here at the organization?
Well, I'm right now when you're the entrepreneur and the owner, I wear all the hats.
Okay.
So I'm over marketing, over sales, over hiring, over HR, over everything. But as we hope to grow, and right now I only have 10 sales associates that we've hired in the last 90 days, and they just in essence have gone through training, and we're at the point now where they're just now starting to get in the field. But most of the people that we hired were former coaches. They already have networks and relationships with various local areas in sports, and that's kind of what we're building on.
Okay. So as the CEO, you're the main decision maker. You make all the decisions.
I am the only decision maker, unless my grandmother tells me otherwise. So.
That's really reputable. Now, you said you had 10 current sales force. Is there anybody else that you're currently employing altogether as maybe an inside sales force?
Yeah, no, not right now. We have some vision to build that out. We are starting to utilize and build our websites and get that up, and there is an active site out there to support the sales field reps, but that's still kind of in development. We're really focusing on that part in this group of 10, kind of as our first level in this part of the strategy, and then we have big visions to grow and become much bigger.
So talk to me a bit about that vision. Where do you see your company going?
Well, the 3-year plan is to have 100 reps and be nationwide. Right now, the 10 that we have are only located in Georgia and Florida. So we're kind of proving our concept here locally, and then we'll start to branch out regionally from there. Hope to have 100 reps in the next couple of years, and then long term, we're even looking at maybe a franchise type opportunity, so to really grow the business quickly.
Franchise as well. Okay. So, right now you said that this is looking at a 10-year plan. What is preventing you from getting to that plan?
Well, prevention right now is time.
Okay.
Being new, you have to build everything, from the ground and up and start to build the foundation. So in fact, the reason I asked you to come in was because of the CRM. I'm looking at that now. I've already spoken to a couple of companies. I've been working with a Siebel product. I come from corporate background, and I have experience with Siebel technology in the previous employer that I had, and working with Oracle. So that's kind of what I'm looking at just from previous experience. We also had someone calling us from Salesforce.com, so we're looking at that. They're a little bit different from an ERP versus a CRM view of it, but there's some functionality I think that would fit nicely from those tools. But part of my challenge is to find the right tool. I also realize that those larger companies are better suited for larger corporations, and I'm obviously a very small business.
So I heard a lot of things basically going on there. One of your major concerns right now is time. You want to make sure that your time is being best utilized because time is money.
Sure.
You're also looking at a lot of our competitors, which is good. I mean, you're a businessman, you need to do that. But you want to ensure that whatever system you implement is completely customized to your organization.
Correct.
Is that correct? Altogether. All right. So the time aspect of things. What right now would you say is eating away at your time in terms of your sales force?
Well, you have to think too. They're brand new, so I don't have a long history to say that over the past so many years we haven't or have done something. They have just completed training in the last few weeks, so most of the coaches that we have, being former coaches, they think technology is a clipboard. So I don't know how well they will adapt to even a laptop. We're just now in the process of ordering laptops and looking at that, and that will be pretty much required because of the tools and the way we need to communicate. But a lot of these people, a coach is not going to carry a laptop with them out in the field talking to students or athletes. So we've got to find a way to kind of tie that all into the business operation. That's kind of my first challenge.
Well, definitely, and I mean it is a concern to get adoption into an industry where it's highly technical. But I come from a sports background myself. I played soccer in university.
Wow. And
one thing I know about coaches is they value results, right?
Sure.
The coach wants to win at all costs. And so, to remain competitive, especially in the world that you're going into right now, you need to generate a system, have everything there so that you can stay on top of your competitors.
Absolutely.
So, I definitely think NetSuite would be able to help you, get that competitive advantage. But you said, you don't have a lot of comparison with your customers right now because, you're relatively new. When you see yourself expanding to 100 reps, how do you see yourself managing that?
Yeah, definitely through technology.
Okay.
When you think about how you replicate what we build small and scale it out to across the company or across the country, you're going to definitely need ways to control that. And especially if you go into a franchise opportunity with a big vision, you've got to have all that airtight. So that's really kind of what we're doing. I'm interested in maybe just have some basic discovery of what your company can provide, and I'll stack that with what I know from other companies, and we'll see if this is really something that makes sense for us to talk and continue the conversation.
Okay. Well, what I've heard from you so far is that you want a system in place. You do value, your time and making sure that everything is on one system in real time. Also, you're looking at expansion for a lot of Salesforce, so you want to make sure that all your customers are accessible. Is there anything else that sticks out to you in terms of, customer relationship management that you would really, you're spending energy right now that you'd rather divert elsewhere?
Well, the other two things that, in addition to that, would be number one is the security. I mean, the companies I'm talking to are speaking volumes about their security and how stable everything is. When you start talking about high school athletes in general, maybe some junior high, and hosting things on the web, I mean, parents, the first thing they want to know is, I'm going to have my child's information out there made available to all the wrong people. So that's really important, is the technology and the security of it. And then the other part of that is, I'm an entrepreneur starting up a brand new business, so I'm not going to be cash flow positive for a while, so I have to be conscious about the dollars that I'm spending up front. So with these other tools, there's implementation fees and startup fees and programming fees, so those are some things that I'm looking at because that's going to require a lot of upfront investment before I can even launch the tool. So that's one thing that I'm obviously concerned about.
Okay. Okay, so let's tackle this one at a time. The first thing you said was security. And so your main concern is that, you know, a lot of information with these young students will be out in the cloud, as they say, of the internet. And so you don't want that information to get out, correct?
Absolutely.
Now let me ask you a question. Do you currently use online banking?
Yes.
Personally and
Yes.
with the business as well?
Yes.
And you feel secure with the safety of that?
Yeah, at this point, yes.
Okay.
My
and
bank
that's
better
good.
be safe.
That's good because NetSuite, you know, feels the same way.
Okay.
And so our encryption is 128 bits, and that's the exact same as the security in online banking.
Okay.
So you can, you know, rest assured that, you know, we take this seriously just like you do.
Have you ever had a breach of your data security?
No, not that I know of. We
Okay.
have not had a breach.
Very good.
You know, does that alleviate that concern?
That helps,
Like,
yes.
no?
That,
Okay.
that gets you to the next level. Yeah.
Yes. And so the second thing that you were saying was that you were worried about the fact that, you know, you're going to implement something with a huge startup cost.
Right.
You know, you're a relatively new business, and, you know, possibly implementing a server or something like that would be, you know, just too much for you to handle right now. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So another great feature with NetSuite is that, you know, we handle all that background information. We house our own servers. We have our own IT department. So what you are getting is just a subscription to the service, and everything else is handled on our end.
Okay.
Basically.
That sounds interesting.
Does that alleviate that one too?
Yeah, that sounds interesting, yes.
All right.
Yeah, no cost or low cost is a good thing. So.
Definitely a good thing. So, you know, the few things that I definitely think that NetSuite can help you with right now is the time. You know, you want to manage your Salesforce correctly. It could also help you with expansion, like we spoke about. When you want to, you know, increase to 100 reps, NetSuite will be able to be there and flexible with you. So, you know, the uptime is no different when you have 10 reps or when you have 100 reps.
Okay.
That will be able to move with you.
Right.
And so I do want to go ahead and show you on the computer, you know, live demonstration, just to see, you know, show you how easy it is to adopt the system.
Okay.
Is that
Yeah,
fair?
we can do that quickly.
You know, right before we do that, I do want to take out, you know, nice little demo here.
Okay.
And, you know, this makes it easier to see on paper before you go just directly to the computer. And if you look at NetSuite, it's a 360-degree view. So for you, you know, in the sports background, I like to do soccer. Is that a good sport for you?
Yeah, I'm
Can
a
you relate to
basketball
that?
player, but
Basketball?
I do coach soccer, so I can relate to soccer.
Well, we can do basketball
Yeah.
too. You know, 360-degree, this is your entire court, your entire business right now. You are the coach, you're in the center, and you are managing your entire team.
Right.
What this allows you to do is, you know every single aspect and every single play. You know, in basketball, you're always calling the play from the sidelines. This is going to allow you to do that by giving you a snapshot of the whole court and what's going on different ends. So on one end, you get your lead generation, which is what you want to do, generate new business. On the other end, you get your Salesforce, which is, you know, worried about prospecting, qualifying. And what it doesn't offer, when you said you were looking at Salesforce.com and Cybele, what they don't offer that we offer is that we can also go all the way through to quotes, orders, services, repurchases. All that can be done
Okay.
on this system.
Okay, so it's a little broader scope than what
Yes.
they would do.
This
Okay,
is
very
definitely
interesting.
you know, differentiating factor for us.
Okay.
Now I do want to go onto the computer. What you would get, as we said, was, you know, a customer log on. And so I'm going to go ahead and log on mine right here. Mind if I scoot my chair
No,
over just
whatever
make
you
it a
wanna
little
do.
easier?
Make
Oh,
yourself comfortable.
great. There we go. So while this is loading, I do want to say that this is completely customized to your business. You said, you know, one of your concerns was making sure that we customize it to you as an individual. So this dashboard represents the first screen that you would see. As a CEO, but you know, you definitely want the whole picture. You want to see the whole basketball court, right?
Right.
And so this allows you to do that. What you get to see is, you know, you get to see your current sales, which are the students that you're working with. You'll get to see their progress, you know, as a customer, as a client. What are they doing right now? Have they gotten the scholarships that you had been speaking about before?
Okay.
Another thing you mentioned was, you know, when you're talking about expanding, you would like to know, you know, lead generation. You're expanding, you're a new
Absolutely.
company, you want to make sure that your message is getting out there. One of the features I thought was very interesting was reports. And, you know, as a CEO, again, this is a big picture view of your company. So you go all the way down here to pipeline analysis. And from there, go down to, there we go, total pipeline size summary.
Okay.
And what you see here is basically, here are the opportunities you've identified. So here are the students you've prospected and said they're, you know, valuable students. here's how many you're in discussion with, here's how many, you've identified the decision maker, in most cases the parents for you, and here's how many, you've actually turned over because of that.
Right.
And so for you in the future, it allows you to see where you are, where you're going, and how you can make an improvement for your business.
Okay.
And that again can be done in terms of numbers, so you actually get, the true value of, what is going on with your prospects.
Okay.
Yeah, is there anything you would like to see on the demonstration?
No, I'm very familiar, having used CRM type technology before. The part that I am interested in, the customization. That's what I like about what you're saying. So I can customize it by sport and really kind of data mine into the technology to maybe do postcards for all soccer athletes or all certain sports athletes.
Absolutely.
Code it that way.
Absolutely.
Okay, very nice.
And now, we've talked about a few things. You just told me that you definitely see the benefit. And currently you have 10 outside sales reps. Would you be willing to go ahead and, sign up for the subscription for those 10 sales reps?
Yeah, probably not today, but I think that what I would be interested in is getting, because we haven't even talked about cost yet, because I have a proposal actually from another company, and I'm waiting on the Salesforce information from their salesforce.com. So if you could kind of give me an idea of what I could expect to pay, just so I can kind of put it in line, because I'm really not quite ready to make a full decision today.
So in terms of cost, would you like to know, what the return on the investment is, or would you like to know the cost in, dollar value?
Well, up front, because it's probably more of a cost side, because until I use the technology and the tool, it's hard to determine what an ROI is, because I haven't even got, adoption at any coach level yet. So up front, it's more of a startup cost. How much would I have to pay up front to deploy the tool?
Okay. Just want to ask you a question quickly. Does your Salesforce currently use cell phones?
Yes.
Yes. And that's paid for by the company?
Well, no. No. Everyone has an individual cell phone anymore. They're just using their local phone. We are going to deploy laptops to them, and then they're asking me, what are we going to use for contact management? So that's why I'm kind of pressed to make a decision.
And so you see the value in the cell phones and the laptops. You definitely, you wouldn't imagine doing business without them.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the cost of NetSuite, which we've seen the value in it, is $129, and I equate that to the cost of a cell phone bill, and definitely certainly less than the cost of a laptop.
Sure.
So it's $120 per seat, which, as I said, is a subscription to a customized web page that allows you to see all the information that surrounds your business and surrounds your sales.
So am I going to have to pay for all that customization?
No, that is one of the great things about NetSuite, is that as soon as you purchase the order and sign in with the NetSuite, we come in, I bring my IT guys in, you bring your Salesforce in, and then we customize it specifically to you as a business.
Very interesting. Okay. Do you offer some type of a test, or can I have a password to play with things? I think maybe some of the more advanced sales reps would be interested in looking at it, because I have talked to them about, we're going to make a decision, and a couple of them are interested in kind of test driving, what we might look to move to, just to see how comfortable they would be with it. Do you offer anything like that?
Well, yeah, and actually that has worked in the past. One of my great clients, and I said I saved them $50,000 in our last meeting. What they did is, we call it an on-site customer evaluation.
Okay.
And so you have 10 sales reps currently. You could go ahead with 5, whoever you identify as your early adapters, and you implement the system. And then we use it for, let's say 6 months, give it a 6-month period. In that 6-month period, you get a customized, fully customized for a small amount of people, and you're able to see the, the value of it right there, and the best people to tell you is, the people that you're actually working for. After that 6 months, if you don't see the value, you cancel the subscription, and we move forward from there.
No harm, no foul. We walk away without any other investment or any other cost.
I do have to tell you though, nobody has ever accepted the trial and not seen the value, and it is that tremendous.
Wow.
Once you implement the system.
Okay.
So
well, is there a way to do maybe a 3-person test or something like that to see if these kind of use my trial is something? I think we probably have a decision made even quicker than 3 months. So if I just wanted a 1-month subscription, could I do that?
1 month, I just want to make sure that it's fair enough for you to see the full return.
Okay.
I would suggest in going ahead and doing the 6 months.
90 days,
yes,
full 6 months. Okay.
Just to make sure that you can see the full value, because like you said, basketball season is in the winter. If, for example, we did it in the summertime, you might not see the full return for the signing on of the basketball students. So I just want to get a full picture altogether of the value of the product.
And who all would need to have the software? Would I need to have it? I mean, how many people, or just the salespeople would just need to have it?
Well, if we're talking about the on-site, customer allowance, you basically decide how many people you want. Your decision makers. You said you are a decision maker. Definitely, your top 3 sales, maybe your bottom 3 sales to compare the two, and then that we would move forward from there.
Well, I certainly think I'm interested in a sale, and then maybe doing a test.